I don't know about you, but I've noticed that when I rush into my day without seeking God, everything feels a little more chaotic. My mind is scattered, my heart feels unsettled, and the smallest inconveniences throw me off balance. But when I take a moment to pause, to acknowledge God before anything else, I feel a sense of peace that carries me through whatever the day holds. Starting our day with God isn't just a routine, it's an act of trust. It's recognizing that His ways are higher than ours, that His answers don't always come the way we expect, but they always come the way we need. I asked for strength, and God gave me difficulties to make me strong. I asked for wisdom, and God gave me problems to solve. I asked for courage, and God gave me dangers to overcome. I asked for love, and God gave me troubled people to help. At first, these answers may not seem like blessings. They might feel like obstacles, challenges, or even unanswered prayers. But the truth is, God doesn't just give us what we ask for. He gives us opportunities to grow into what we are called to be. He is always shaping us, strengthening us, and preparing us for what's ahead. This prayer closet we've stepped into right now is a sacred place, a place where we lay down our burdens, surrender our fears, and open our hearts to God. This is not just a routine, it's an intimate moment with our Creator. I encourage you to stay in this moment until the very end. Don't rush away from God's presence, because sometimes the breakthrough doesn't come at the beginning of the prayer, but at the end. Sometimes God is waiting to see if we will press in, if we will remain faithful, if we will trust Him even before we see the answer. Stay with me until the last word of this prayer. Let's seek Him together, knowing that He hears every cry, every whisper, and every longing of our hearts. Pray with expectation, because when we commit ourselves fully to seeking Him, He will respond. He will strengthen you, He will guide you, and He will pour out His blessings over your life. So before we ask, before we seek, let's take a moment to align our hearts with Him, because when we put God first, He directs our steps in ways we never imagined. Keep believing and keep trusting, because at the end of this prayer, I believe that God is going to move in a powerful way. Let's enter into His presence now, ready to receive, ready to trust, and ready to walk in faith. Let's start with God's words. Jeremiah 29:12 says, "Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you." What a powerful assurance. Have you ever felt like your prayers were just words disappearing into the air? This verse reminds us that when we call upon God, He hears us. He is not distant, nor does He ignore His children. Every word we speak in prayer reaches His throne, and He listens with love and understanding. But here's something to think about. Are we truly calling on Him with faith, or are we just going through the motions? God doesn't just hear words, He hears hearts. He desires a relationship, not just requests. When we approach Him sincerely, not only does He listen, but He also responds according to what is best for us. Think about your own prayer life. Are you calling on God with expectation, or just out of routine? Are you seeking Him with a surrendered heart, or only when you need something? Beyond simply listening, this verse is an invitation to intimacy with God. He wants us to come to Him, not just when we're in trouble, but as a daily practice of faith. Imagine a child running into the arms of their loving Father, not out of desperation, but out of trust and love. That's how God wants us to approach Him. He longs for us to speak with Him, to lean on Him, and to know that His ears are always open. How often do we run to people for advice before we run to God? What would happen if we truly believed that He is listening at every moment? More than just hearing, God responds. His answers may not always be immediate or the way we expect, but He always answers in love. Sometimes He removes obstacles, opens doors, or gives us a sense of peace when things feel uncertain. Other times his answer comes in the form of wisdom, teaching us to trust him in the waiting. When was the last time you paused to recognize how God has already answered your prayers? 1 John 5:14 reinforces this truth with another powerful statement. This is the confidence we have in approaching God, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. Confidence. That's what prayer is supposed to give us. But let's pause for a moment. What does it mean to ask according to his will? Does it mean God will always give us what we ask for? No. It means he will always give us what is best. God's will is perfect, and his timing is flawless. Sometimes we pray for things that seem right to us, but God, in his infinite wisdom, knows they are not what we truly need. Have you ever prayed for something and later realized that God's no was actually his protection? That job you didn't get, that relationship that didn't work out, that opportunity that seemed perfect but never happened. Could it be that God saw something you didn't? His will is perfect, even when it doesn't match our desires in the moment. So the question is, do we trust him enough to accept his answer, even when it's different from what we expected? Praying according to God's will doesn't mean limiting our prayers. It means aligning our hearts with his plans. The closer we walk with him, the more our desires begin to reflect his. When we surrender to his will, our prayers shift from, God, give me what I want, to God, shape my heart to desire what you have planned for me. Have you ever experienced a moment where, instead of demanding something from God, you simply trusted him, and later saw how perfectly he worked things out? God's will is often revealed in ways we don't expect. Sometimes, his no is a redirection, guiding us away from something harmful. Other times, his wait is an invitation to grow in patience and trust. How do you respond when God's answer doesn't match your expectations? Do you cling to his promise, or do you let doubt creep in? Then we have Matthew 7:7-8, which encourages us with these words, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you." This verse isn't just about asking once and getting what we want. It's about persistence. How often do we give up too quickly? How many times have we prayed once or twice, then assumed God wasn't going to answer? Jesus tells us to keep asking, keep seeking, keep knocking. There's something about perseverance that strengthens our faith. God often answers in ways that require us to wait and trust him. Maybe the delay isn't denial. Maybe it's a lesson in trust. Maybe he's shaping our hearts, refining our faith, and preparing us for something greater. Have you ever stopped praying for something simply because the answer didn't come fast enough? What if the breakthrough was just one more prayer away? What if God is waiting for you to press in, to trust him more deeply, and to rely on him more fully? Persistence in prayer isn't about convincing God to give us what we want. It's about showing our unwavering trust in him. Think about the people in the Bible who refused to let go. Hannah, who prayed for a child. The blind man who cried out to Jesus despite being told to be quiet. The woman who reached for the hem of his garment, believing healing was within reach. What do they all have in common? They didn't stop. They knew who they were asking, and they refused to give up. Are we that persistent in our faith? Asking, seeking, and knocking are different stages of prayer. Asking is making our requests known. Seeking is actively drawing closer to God and searching for his will. Knocking is an act of faith, continuing to press forward, even when we don't see immediate results. What stage of prayer are you in right now? Are you asking, seeking, or knocking? Finally, Romans 8:28 brings it all together. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. This is not just a promise, it's a guarantee. In all things, God is working for our good. not just in the victories, but in the struggles, not just in the answered prayers, but in the ones that seem unanswered, not just in the moments of joy, but in the seasons of waiting. Think about your life. Can you see times when what seemed like a disappointment turned out to be a blessing? That's how God works. He is not bound by time, and He is never caught off guard. He is orchestrating every detail of our lives for a greater purpose. Even when we can't see it, even when we don't feel it, even when everything seems like it's falling apart, God is still working. He wastes nothing. Even our pain has a purpose when placed in His hands. Have you ever questioned whether God was really in control? Sometimes, when life feels chaotic, we wonder if He sees what we're going through. But this verse reassures us, nothing is wasted. Every tear, every struggle, every setback, it's all part of His divine plan. Can you trust Him, even when the process is painful? So today, I challenge you, make a commitment to start your day with God. Don't just pray when you need something. Pray because He is your Father, your provider, your protector. Seek Him not only for answers but for relationship. Because when we put Him first, everything else falls into place. Are you willing to trust God's timing, even when the waiting is hard? Are you willing to believe that His no is just as loving as His yes? Let's hold on to these promises, knowing that we serve a God who always listens, always answers, and always works for our good. Now let's pray together. Heavenly Father, I come before You today with a heart that is both expectant and humbled, knowing that You are the God who sees me, who hears me, and who answers in ways beyond my understanding. Lord, I do not always comprehend Your ways, but I stand on the truth that You are always working for my good. Your wisdom is greater than mine. Your plans are higher than my plans, and Your love for me surpasses all human understanding. Even when I do not understand what You are doing, I choose to trust You. There are days when I pray, yet my heart still feels heavy. I lay my burdens before You, yet I struggle to release them completely. I know Your word in Jeremiah 29:12 says, "Then you will call on Me and come and pray to Me, and I will listen to you." But Lord, in my moments of weakness, I confess that I sometimes wonder, are You truly listening? Do You see my struggles? Do You hear the cries of my heart? I know You do. Even when my circumstances do not immediately change, even when my prayers seem to go unanswered, I hold on to the promise that You have never ignored me, never abandoned me, and never turned away from me.